A warm summer morning in Atlanta's District 12, Effect Fitness is hosting a run recognizing Juneteenth. But first, registration, a quick selfie, a group photo to show off the T-shirt, and believe it or not, that's just the warm-up. Atlanta City Council member JOYCE SHEPERD is showing off her moves and getting the cardio in before issuing a proclamation to the founder of Effect Fitness for his contributions to the community.
We, the members of the Atlanta City Council, on behalf of the citizens, do hereby recognize Mr. Keandrick Dooley Lucius on this 19th day of June 2021 for his enduring service and leadership. We wish him continued success and happiness throughout his career.
I'm still taking it all in. I'm still just taking it all in, man. The thing I'm most proud of today is just seeing all these people coming together. We had a goal before we started this year was to get this race done, and I'm just feel happy that we're able to pull it off.
A day of fitness, a day commemorating freedom, a day to run in celebration. In Atlanta, Phyllis Jackson for ATL 26.
Glad you could join us for this edition of Stay at Home Connect. I'm Phyllis Jackson.
The Delta variant is sweeping across the country. Experts say the variant now accounts for 20% of new COVID cases in the United States. During a recent media briefing, Dr. Anthony Fauci said there's an obstacle to reaching the July 4th goal of 70% of the U.S. population being covered, and that's the unvaccinated and those living in under-vaccinated regions.
Similar to the situation in the UK, the Delta variant is currently the greatest threat in the U.S. to our attempt to eliminate COVID-19.
Dr. Fauci says with such effective vaccines available, nearly every COVID death is preventable. Right now, the majority of deaths related to COVID are under the age of 75. An independent expert panel advises the CDC and the FDA to add a warning label to both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccination fact sheets, following over 300 cases of myocarditis linked to the injections. The rare heart condition has been seen mostly in young males. A new study finds that COVID-19 survivors who lost their sense of taste and smell could be waiting up to a year before they fully recover. The research involving nearly 100 patients is published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. MARTA partners with CVS and the Urban League to host COVID-19 vaccination pop-up clinics at 5 Points and West End rail stations. Starting June 28th, CVS will administer the single-dose Johnson & Johnson and the first-dose Pfizer vaccines and will help with the scheduling of the second Pfizer dose at a CVS location. No appointment or registration is required. Similar pop-up vaccination clinics are being provided to MARTA employees.
Well, we are here because we are celebrating 10 years of the existence of Jenny Drake Park. And I'm so proud to be here as council member who represented this district. Miss Jenny Drake, who the park is named after, lived next door. She would call my office almost every other day. If a leaf fell off a tree in this park, she would call. And she was always a great caretaker, and so it's a great story. Today, the proclamation, of course, is celebrating 10 years of this park, but it's also great that it is the Juneteenth celebration, because we're celebrating not only that enslaved African Americans were freed, finally, when they had already been freed 2 years ago, but it's also freeing up this community to have a wonderful, lovely green space where they can come and commune with nature. So all of it comes together for the good.
This is Juneteenth commemoration. You know, it's day for us to recognize that misinformation is not a good thing, but we're going to celebrate the good times and we're going to celebrate advancement. And African Americans are awesome, being celebrated today. Fitness is important, and so I'm so happy to be here with my colleague JOYCE Shepard in her district, celebrating a day when we're coming together for fitness, for commemoration. This is a great day in Council District 12. There you go. Thank you.
We're out here downtown today celebrating the completion of 4 projects that were voted on during our Downtown Decides participatory budgeting process. And we're riding a bike from one location to the other to do a ribbon cutting in each of the 4 transportation projects. Some of the projects we're celebrating today are new bike lanes in the Central Business District, the painting of an island in the middle of the road yellow so people can see it, and some new trash cans in the Sweet Auburn corridor. This is the direct result of citizens participating in this program. This is the first time we've done participatory budgeting in Atlanta, and it puts the power directly in people's hands on how tax dollars are spent, and we're just thrilled with the response and the success of the program so far.
We're here today at the Maggie Russell Tower to help to provide, along with our partners GenCare and their Executive Director, Councilwoman Carmelita Gum from South Fulton, 80 COVID-19 vaccines for seniors who are here in the building. There are over 400 residences in the Maggie Russell high-rise, but there are about 80 folks who had not received their COVID-19 vaccines. So a lot of the seniors, aren't mobile, meaning they may not have a car or access to transportation, to help them to get vaccinated, to protect them and others who already have been vaccinated in the building from the scourge of COVID-19. It is still important to adhere to the CDC guidelines so that we can beat this pandemic. We are so close to the end of it. Millions of Americans adult Americans have been vaccinated, but we need every American to step up, get a shot in the arm, because it protects yourself, it protects others, it protects our community. The city of Atlanta is still in phase 2. We would like to open up. We can't do so until we have the results in the broader community that our infection rate is beneath 5%, that people are still wearing masks and socially distancing, that everybody is getting vaccinated. The more we do that, the quicker we can go back to normal.
A warm summer morning in Atlanta's District 12, Effect Fitness is hosting a run recognizing Juneteenth. But first, registration, a quick selfie, a group photo to show off the T-shirt, and believe it or not, that's just the warm-up. Atlanta City Council member JOYCE Shepard is showing off her moves and getting the cardio in before issuing a proclamation to the founder of Effect Fitness for his contributions to the community.
We, the members of the Atlanta City Council, on behalf of the citizens, do hereby recognize Mr. Keandrick Dooley Lucius on this 19th day of June 2021 for his enduring service and leadership. We wish him continued success and happiness throughout his career.
I'm still taking it all in. I'm still just taking it all in, man. The thing I'm most proud of today is just seeing all these people come together. Where the goal before we started this year was to get this race done, and I'm just feeling happy that we're able to pull it off.
A day of fitness, a day commemorating freedom, a day to run in celebration. In Atlanta, Phyllis Jackson for ATL 26.
we are here because we are celebrating 10 years of the existence of Jenny Drake Park. And I'm so proud to be here as council member who represented this district. Miss Jenny Drake, who the park is named after, lived next door. She would call my office almost every other day. If a leaf fell off a tree in this park, she would call. And she was always a great caretaker. And so it's a great story. Today, the proclamation, of course, is celebrating 10 years of this park. But it's also great that it is the Juneteenth celebration, because we're celebrating not only that enslaved African Americans were freed, finally, when they had already been freed 2 years ago, but it's also freeing up this community to have a wonderful, lovely green space where they can come and commune with nature. So all of it comes together for the good.
This is Madeline Archibong, Chair of the City Utilities Committee. This is the June 29th, 2021 meeting. I hereby call this meeting to order. Mr. Evans, would you conduct a roll call of the members present, please? Mr. Evans?
Yes, Madam Chair, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Councilmember Andrea L. Boone.
Present.
Councilmember Dustin Hillis.
Here.
Councilmember J.P. Matsakai.
Here.
Councilmember Joyce Shepard.
Present.
Councilmember Howard Shook.
Aye.
And Councilmember Cleta Winslow.
Present.
All members are present, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Boone, I heard you say you would be voice voting. Anyone else voice voting today? Councilman voice voting. Okay. So is that it? Boone and Winslow? Okay. Thank you. Mr. Evans, would you read the remote meeting statement, please?
Certainly. This City Utilities Committee is being conducted remotely as advertised and in accordance with OCGA 50-14-1. The meeting will be conducted in conformance with Robert's Rules of Order and the Rules of Council as authorized by the City Code. The public may access the meeting by dialing 877-579-6743, conference ID 831-599-1256. which was noted on the Friday, June 25th public meeting notice. The public may also view the meeting on Channel 26, the Council's homepage at citycouncil.atlantagA.gov, the Council's YouTube channel, or the Council's Facebook and Twitter pages via @ATL Council. All presentations are available on the City Council City Utilities Committee presentation page. The agenda was published and made available Friday, June 25th via atlantacitygA.iqm2.com. The public was able to submit comments via voicemail at 404-330-6057 between the hours of 4 and 7 p.m. the day before this meeting. These comments will be played during the public comment portion of the meeting. All persons present on the remote council meeting conference bridge are requested to mute your phones and speakers. Additionally, speakers must be acknowledged by the presiding officer prior to speaking. Each council member is requested to open your Outlook email and minimize the screen. Amendments, substitutes, and informational documents have been distributed to the committee members beforehand. Thank you all in advance for your cooperation.
All right, thank you. Next item is the adoption of the agenda. I understand there are no walk-in papers or anything we need to be concerned about. Is that correct, Mr. Evans?
That is correct.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Second,
I'll
Shook.
second. Okay, second by Mr. Shook. Let's open that vote, please.
The vote is open.
All right, Ms. Boone, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Winslow. How do you vote?
In favor.
Thank you very much.
The vote is closed. 7 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, that's unanimous. And next, approval of the minutes. I will entertain a motion.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Shook seconds.
Thank you. If there's no further discussion, please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Thank you, Ms. Boone. How do you vote?
Yes.
All right, thanks. Ms. Winslow, how do you vote?
In favor.
All right, thank you.
The vote is closed at 7 yeas, 0 nays.
All right, that also is unanimous. Next, section F, public comment. Mr. Evans, I understand we do have comment. Would you please play it?
Greetings, council members and staff. A special greetings to you citizens and voters of Atlanta who are monitoring your government in action this election year. Ben Howard, Senior Advocate, Public Policy Analyst. Actions at this month's People TV board meeting are testament to the illegalities of process and composition of that People TV board of directors. People TV presentations to this committee continue to be live a full story of what's going on and what's not going on behind the doors of 190 14th Street. You're scheduled to hear another such presentation this morning from People TV. Newsflash, Sabrina, let's call her, reportedly received one of those, quote, notice to vacate, unquote, letters in her apartment complex, and without checking with anyone about her rights, she frantically moved to Decatur, to that same apartment complex that recently experienced a disastrous multi-alarm fire. Although Sabrina lost her belongings, she providentially did not lose her life. A legally constituted People TV board can expose those so-called notice to vacate schemes. Newsflash, the Move.org website says the city of Atlanta is the worst city to work and live as a minimum wage earner. They say you have to work more than 177 hours in a month to live in a single bedroom apartment in this Georgia's capital. A legally constituted People TV board can expose the rent problem here and the rent burden that people are bearing. A legally constituted People TV board can help shed a bright light on the dark operations of the NPUR9, Antonita Robinson, Paulus Clare, Ricardo Jacobs, Vanessa Scott, Albert White, Allison Hathaway, Sherry Williams, Cheryl Brown, and those NPUR9 cohorts, enablers, and supporters.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Bond. I live at 33 Ponce de Leon Avenue, next to the North Avenue MARTA station, and across from the side door of the Fox Theater. And I'm calling to ask that the lights on our street be repaired. We've been without street lights for a year. And during that time, we have also been subjected to just unbelievable amounts of construction traffic and disruption at all hours because of the COVID closing down the shelters. Our street has been overrun with homeless, and because there are no lights, there's a lot of trash, a lot of human waste. A lot of graffiti going on. Meanwhile, our property taxes have doubled in the last couple of years, and it's really starting to feel like Midtown is not a good place to live anymore. And it's just not a good feeling to know that that the residents who've lived there for 20 years are being ignored in favor of the homeless and in favor of the construction people that are just disrupting our lives. And all we're asking for is working lights on our streets. And we've repeatedly reported it to 311 and asked MARTA to help us get the lights on, and nobody is responding. So we're hoping that somebody will listen to these messages and get us some lights on the block of Ponce de Leon between West Peachtree and Peachtree Street, adjacent to the North Avenue MARTA station. Thank you.
Hi, this is Eric Sprague of 33 Ponce de Leon Avenue Northeast, apartment 104, Atlanta, Georgia, 30308. And I'm calling to report an issue that a public works related issue that has been ongoing since last year. And so basically all the streetlights on the block of Ponce de Leon between West Peachtree and Peachtree Street, which is adjacent to the North Avenue MARTA station, the Fox Theater, as well as our condominium building. This whole block, the lights have been out almost all the time since last year, since last fall. They were briefly fixed a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, and then they went back out soon after that, and they've been out since then. And we placed multiple calls through the 311 system, one of which did result in that brief repair, and then they went back out. And in addition to that, in the most recent outage, it also extended to Peachtree Street, the block between Ponce de Leon and it's 3rd Street, the next street up, the whole block in front of the Fox Theater and the Georgia Terrace Hotel. All those lights have been out for several weeks as well now. And this has caused an increase in trash, graffiti, as well as human waste being left around our building and adjacent to the MARTA station in all the dark areas, including in front of our garage door of our building where people have been defecating, and it's really good. And then they sprayed graffiti on our front wall, which we've had repainted, as well as our side wall. We've had both of those repainted just last week. So it's definitely increased the amount of trash and vandalism. And we've been trying, and they've said that it will be fixed within 30 days, but even this last year when we reported it, it took about 4 months. And then they only lasted a couple weeks. It was only to the lights on one side of the street, not both sides. So at the same time as all this has been going on, our property taxes have pretty much doubled. And so it's really upsetting that right in the center of the city, in an area full of people adjacent to a transit station that the lights can't get fixed. They're off for almost a whole year. So that was just what we wanted to report, and I hope that this could be addressed, and also it could be something that could be considered how to prioritize public works issues in the city depending on the number of people that are in an area. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Hey, how you doing, City Councilman? My name is Miss Margie. I'm just calling about the Rescue Plan Act. What we need to do, put the Rescue Plan Act towards forgiveness. Let's forgive this water bill. Again, forgive this water bill. And that's what the Rescue Plan Act is for. The money to forgive the water bill. And just like Aretha Franklin sang, rescue me. And that's what the money's for, to rescue us. Even the dog said, rescue me. We need our water bills forgiveness. That's what it's saying, baby. Rescue, that's what it means, rescue. We could do it. Let's use that rescue plan to rescue these people. That's what Aretha Franklin. Rescue. Come on, Marcy. Rescue. Come on, take it. Rescue. Even God said rescue. Forgive the water bill. Forgive the water bill. You love your father. Rescue. Forgive the water bill. Forgiveness.
Is that the end of public comment?
Yes, ma'am. I believe that completes public comment. Thank God.
All right. All right. No music critics online, please. I have a question for, is anyone on the line from Public Works right now?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. This is Rita Branswell, Department of Public Works.
Good morning. I just wanted to, for the public purposes, clarify who and which department is responsible for lighting.
Streetlights are under the purview of ADOT, Atlanta DOT, with coordination with Georgia Power.
All right. Thank you very much. Just wanted to confirm that. Mr. Evans, would you make sure that the messages and concerns relative to lighting outages on Ponce, Peachtree, and West Peachtree be reported to the proper department, please?
Yes, I'll make a note. Thank you.
Okay.
And then Commissioner Browning, I would like you to be ready to talk about the water bill disconnection program or plans that are being developed or that have been developed. So just giving you a heads up on that. Next on the agenda is presentation of dates and reports. We'll be hearing from People TV today. Is Ms. Creighton on the line?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everybody. How are you?
We're great. Good morning, and we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, first of all, I wanted to change the date on my presentation. It should be June the 29th instead of March 23rd. And on my presentation, we've got 2 new board members, and I've got the list of them in the presentation. I was asked to give a description of the board's roles in People TV, and I printed that out, and how each committee chairperson, what they've done to help with People TV. If there are any questions, I'm not going to read everything. You can just let me know.
Hold on 1 second. All right, yes, all right. So you want to change the date. I'm with you now. So it's your update. You've gotten some concerns about the board composition. So if you'll go over the board and whether or not you're having your meetings regularly, if you're having a quorum, just sort of go through the mechanics of that for now.
Yes. So for the last 5 months, we have had a quorum, and we didn't. We missed one. Well, I've got the secretary here with me now. She's giving me an update in writing. I didn't know that's what they wanted. Okay. So we've had 3 consecutive board meetings with a quorum. Due to the treasurer had a car accident and Dr. Wilson had a fall. So two meetings since the last quarter. We only had, there's only 3 months though. So we still missed one. Okay. That's the one we only had one? Oh, we only had one since the last quarter? Hold on, I'm sorry, hold on. In the last quarter, we've had 2. We've had 2 in the last quarter.
And you had a quorum, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. So in terms of your budget, can you talk to us about where you are with that?
Okay, I surely can. I submitted a budget printout from QuickBooks. And our balance in the bank, I have no idea. Let me pull up the... Oh, Lord. I didn't print out the budget.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Because this is serious business, and we want to make sure that we are getting information from a full disclosure perspective, from the vantage point of the dollars that are flowing from the city and programming and that kind of thing. So just, can we have you come back? We will need either to have your CFO or someone who can walk us through the funding that you've received, how it's been allocated, and what your projections are for going forward. We would like to make sure that the operations are, running well, that you've got the board, governing and overseeing what is happening. So you need to pull together a proposal, an update that touches those points. Is the board functioning? What about programming and operations? And then what about funding? In those 3 buckets, I want you to come back at our next meeting with an update that is ready to flow and that is informative and that is accurate. Can you do that for us, please?
I will definitely do that with detailed instructions that you've given me, and I appreciate that, so I can know exactly what you want.
All right, colleagues, is anyone who disagrees with that plan for moving forward, or any questions right now? I'm both off, so I can't see if anyone has any questions. Mr. Evans, does anyone have any questions?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, well, at our next meeting, Mr. Evans, what other reports? Is it okay to add one more, or remind me, where are we with that?
From memory, there are no reports, but I'm going to pull that document up to be sure.
Okay, and then we can coordinate with her. Thank you very much, Ms. Creighton. We will hopefully see you at our next meeting.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Evans, let's go to the consent agenda, please.
Item number 1 is 21-00437, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to amend the fiscal year 2021 Water and Wastewater Renewal and Extension Fund budget and Series 2020 Water and Wastewater Drawdown Taxable Revenue Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act bond budget in the amount of $141 million and 0 cents, all to transfer funds from the watershed reserves and Series 2020 Water and Wastewater Drawdown Taxable Revenue with the bond for appropriations and add funds to the North Polk Southern Tank and Pump Station project and for other purposes. Item number 2, 21-00438, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or her designee to execute an agreement for RFPS 1210111 Green Infrastructure and Landscape Services with ELC/RAC joint venture on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management, the Department of Parks and Recreation, and the Department of Public Works for a term of 3 years with 2 one-year renewal options retroactively effective from June 17, 2021 in an amount not to exceed $8,865,000 and 0 cents, subject to and expressly contingent upon the adoption and approval of the fiscal year 2022, 2023, and 2024 budgets in accordance with Section 2-1163, subsection C of Article 10, Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances, to ratify any services rendered from June 17, 2021 until the date of the agreement is executed. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund department, organization, and account numbers listed and for other purposes.
All right. Thank you. By virtue of having read those 2 items are accepted. And we move now to Section I, ordinances for second reading.
Item number 3 is 21-00408, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or her designee on behalf of the Department of Atlanta and on behalf of the City of Atlanta and in accordance with the provisions of Section 1-102C7 of the Charter of the City of Atlanta to accept a donation of outreach and education services valued at approximately $30,500 and 0 cents from Food Service Packaging Institute for the purposes of increasing recycling of paper cups and educating the general public in regard to the types of materials that may be included for recycling, amending the 2022 Solid Waste Services Revenue Fund budget by adding to anticipations and appropriations in the amount of $30,500 and 0 cents, and to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Food Service Packaging Institute to accept the donation and for other purposes.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Greenlee, are you on the line?
Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Kanika Greenlee, Department of Public Works, and this grant from the Food Service Packaging Institute will include in-kind and advertising dollars. The highlights of the grant including adding paper cups to our accepted materials to our recycling program. It will help us with education and outreach dollars, and also highlight some already accepted food service packaging items. That would include things like molded fiber food packaging, those like egg carton containers or carriers, paper bags, and aluminum foil packaging containers as well.
All right, thank you. Colleagues, let me see if there are any questions. Any questions? I have one. This is interesting. The general public, will that include also restaurant owners?
It will not. This is just for our curbside recycling residents.
Okay. All right. So it's limited to that. All right. Thank you very much. Colleagues, if there are no questions, I will entertain a motion.
Shook moves approval. Second, Matscott.
Great. Been moved and seconded. If there's no objections, please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Thank you, Ms. Boone. How do you vote?
Madam Chair, I'm online and my vote is yes. I'm online now.
Awesome. Ms. Winslow, how do you vote?
In favor?
All right. Thank you very much.
The vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays.
That stands approved. It was unanimous. Thank you very much. Next item.
Item number 4, 21-00409, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or her designee to execute the Fifth Amendment for Agreement FC 9689, Major Electrical Repairs and Services with WWPS LLC, on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management to extend the term of the agreement for up to 12 months, effective July 9th, 2021 through July 8th, 2022 on a month-to-month basis, in an amount not to exceed $1,000,000. All contracted work shall be charged to and paid from the fund department organization and account numbers listed and for other purposes.
Is Mr. Fletcher on the line?
Good morning, Madam Chair and council members. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Good morning. Quentin Fletcher, Department of Watershed Management. The purpose of this legislation is to extend the term of the agreement for electrical repairs and services. This contract will be used to provide preventive maintenance to key electrical systems throughout the drinking water and water reclamation facilities. This contract will also be used to address critical needs identified within the CIP capital maintenance project. On behalf of the department, DOP advertised for proposals RFP-S-121-0173, annual contract for major electrical repairs and services. We are currently evaluating the one proposal received. This request is vital as the city is required to meet the requirements of the NPDES permits issued by the Georgia Environmental Protection Division. Under these permits, the city is required to maintain critical systems to meet discharge effluent limits to protect public health and the Chattahoochee River water quality.
All right. Thank you very much for that overview and for the purpose. Colleagues, any questions for Mr. Fletcher? If not, I will entertain him.
I'm sorry, approval, Shook. Second,
Thank you. All right, it's been approved and seconded. Are there any other questions or any unreadiness? All right, if not, go ahead and open the vote, please.
The vote is open.
Ms. Winslow, how do you vote?
In favor?
All right, thank you.
The vote is closed at 7 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, and that stands approved. Next item.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is 21-00410, an ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or her designee to ratify agreement C-1190023, Emergency Niles Avenue Sewer Improvements and Realignment with Garney Companies, Inc. on behalf of the Department of Watershed Management in accordance with Section 2-1163, subsection C of Article 10, Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta, Code of Ordinances, and execute change order number 2 to extend the term of the agreement retroactively beginning October 9th, 2020 and ending on February 23rd, 2021 for additional construction services at no additional cost and for other purposes.
The request of the department is to hold this legislation, so I make that motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All right. If not, there's no unreadiness. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Ms. Winslow, how do you vote? Ms. Winslow?
Yes, in favor.
Okay. All right, thank you.
The vote is closed at 7 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, that's unanimous. Thank you. That item will be held. Next item. And we do have a substitute, so is the caption the same?
It appears largely the same. Would the committee like to bring the substitute forward, and I'll read that just to be sure?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes. I'll make that motion to bring forward the substitute.
Second.
All right, let's open the vote.
The vote is open.
Ms. Winslow, how do you vote?
In favor.
All right, thank you.
That was 7 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, that was approved, so please read the caption from the substitute now before us.
It is item number 6. It's 21-00419, a substitute ordinance by City Utilities Committee authorizing the mayor or her designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta and in accordance with the provisions of Section 1-102C7 of the Charter of the City of Atlanta to accept a grant in the amount of $1,020,000.00 from the Recycling Partnership, Inc., amending the 2021 Intergovernmental Grant Fund budget by adding 2 anticipations and appropriations in the amount of $1,020,000.00 to enter into a grant agreement with the Recycling Partnership, Inc., to accept the grant and for other purposes.
Ms. Green, are you still on the line?
If you recall, good morning again. This is Kanika Greenlee, Department of Public Works.
Yes.
This grant from the Recycling Partnership is the final phase of a 3-year commitment with the Recycling Partnership with funds given through the Coca-Cola Foundation. This last year of this grant will include things such as assessment of service changes and improvement, third-party consulting for RFP and contract completion, implementation for support of a resilient recycling system upgrades, and an education campaign. And the education campaign will include another round of the Feet on the Street cart tagging program, where we go out and check for contaminants in residential recycling curbside carts for a period of last time we did 4 consecutive weeks. And if there were items in it, we let the residents know through a curbside tag.
What is being substituted? What's the difference?
The difference for the substitute is it made note of in-kind and monetary donations, and some account changes due to that.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Colleagues, any questions? Or I will entertain.
Yeah, approval, sure.
All right, thank you.
Second, Metzger.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or concerns? If not, Mr. Evans, please open the vote.
The vote is open.
And thank you, Ms. Winslow. Vote.
In favor.
Okay, good.
The vote is closed. It's 7 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, that stands approved on substitute, unanimously approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Ms. Evans, are there any legislative items to be considered?
No, none of the held items will be coming off, and that completes the legislative agenda.
All right, is Commissioner Browning on the line?
I've been told she's away for the day, but there may be another member of watershed management on the line.
I don't know who.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
This is Quentin Fletcher. I'm still on the line. Department of Watershed Management.
Yeah, I had a question. We had a really exciting rendition of Rescue Me during the public comment. And I don't know if you are a subject matter expert on the department's plans relative to water service disconnection following the end of the moratorium. Do you know anything about that? No is a good answer.
No, Madam Chair, not at this time. Please allow me to sit down with Commissioner Browning regarding that.
Okay, well, I'll reach out to her and ask her to provide our committee members. It's probably be better to send it to all council members of what those plans are. So if she's not available, that's all. Thank you for trying to pinch hit. I appreciate it.
We will definitely follow up with you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, anything else for the good of the body? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Let's all second it together. Second.
Second.
Thank you,
All right,
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Colleagues, good meeting. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.